Welcome back with the winter season upon us. How are the demand and sales trends shaping up for winter wear? To discuss this and their second quarter fine print, we have Sandeep Jain, the ED at Monte Carlo Fashions, joining us now on the show. Mr. Jain, winter is indeed coming. If you could tell us some details, how much of your revenue comes from winter wear right now? You have been diversifying your revenue mix. And how are the initial trends so far for winter 2020?
Yeah, the revenue from winter wear comes around 60 to 65%.
Okay.
And right now, if we compare our November as compared to last year November, there has been a tremendous growth as compared to last year.
Oh, all right. Could you quantify that number if you're comparing November to November?
See, if I see that November last year and November this year, we have been growing almost 20% as compared to retail sales, as compared to last November.
All right. And what is the margin that you enjoy on winter products, and how does that compare with the margins that you enjoy in the summer products?
See, margin and winter and summer products is almost equal. There's not a much difference. But thing is that the winter revenue is almost 65%. So that contributes significant revenue to the total turnover.
Okay, all right. If you could give us a sense in terms of your working capital cycle, now that's always been a bit of a worry. What is it right now and what has it been traditionally?
See, working capital gets peak in the month of September because we have to dispatch most of our winter goods in September, October and November. And the working cycle comes down in the month of January, February once we receive our winter payments.
If you could tell us a few things, your capacity utilization, your raw material costs, because the last quarter, your gross margins did improve to around 61%. Are they sustainable? What capacity utilization are you currently at?
See, basically, I'll just explain about this also. Last quarter was a different quarter altogether for us because in that case, the woolen revenues were little, because there was a more production of woolen garments than the cotton garments. That is why the gross margins were higher. As woolens have in-house manufacturing, so that is why they have higher gross margins. But if we see overall the companies, I think this year's margins of EBITDA margins will remain almost same as compared to last year's margins level.
Okay, all right. So you're saying that in fact the margin number will stay more or less constant. Give us a sense in terms of the balance sheet. You used to have some surplus cash in your books. Quantify that. What is the cash and the investments in your books right now, and how do you plan on using that?
Yeah, we have around 115 crore of cash, which is available with us right now, and which is being used as a part of working capital also. And also we have a window open for us for any acquisition in the future also as well.
Right. The first half of this year, you've done a revenue of close to around 109 crores. This is 50% lower than what you did in the first half of last year. Last year, you ended up with revenues of close to around 700 odd crores. What's the prognosis for this year?
See, we have given the guidance in the beginning of the year. There will be around drop of around 25% because of the production we lost in the month of April, May and June because of COVID. And we expect to end this year around 500 CR.
All right. And with margins around what levels?
I think, so I would like to, comment on this also. See, basically, if we see this year, particularly in October and November, we have seen the demand is
Oopsie.
I think he's freezing, if you must.
Yeah, I think it's frozen as of now, but encouraging commentary coming in there. The month of November was better on a year-on-year basis, seen a big growth of close to around 20%. I think we have the management back with us, so just let's hear out what Mr. Jain has to say.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Jain, go ahead. You were saying something.
See, what I'm saying is that as we lost the production of April and May, the production is almost 75% of last year's winter's level.
Okay.
And demand is more than the supply. So right now our warehouses are empty. There has been a demand, but we are not able to supply. And in retail, we are seeing the growth of around 20% as compared to last year. And we see that as the stock is not much in the retail stores as well as in the warehouse. So there will be less discounting in this financial year, and that will definitely improve the margins.
There's a final quick question from my side. The government has announced a PLI for the textile industry. Do you think you are going to use that and do some sort of capex? Do you have any plans?
See, basically, our model is that the woolen manufacturing we do in-house,
Okay.
and most of the other manufacturing is outsourced. So I don't think there's any kind of benefit for this as far as Monte Carlo is concerned.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Jain, for stopping by and giving us all those details. Looks like it is going to be a good winter for you. 20% sales is what you've seen in November already in a business that contributes around 60-65% for winter itself. Wish you good luck. With that, we will take a short break. And before we do that, actually, let's take a look at our special segment where we get you a few ideas for profit from Money Control Pro. Mandish Shah of Money Control Pro, our colleague, moneycontrol.com, joins us to talk about a stock that he's been tracking very, very closely. Nandish.
Today we are going to talk about MSTC. MSTC is a public sector undertaking with Government of India holding 65% stake. Currently they generate about 25% of the revenues from e-commerce segment, which will eventually go up to 90% in the next 1 year. Keeping in view the same, the company has already partnered with various state government, PSU banks and large private sector enterprises for providing e-auction and e-services to them. In providing these services, the company charges a fixed fee or a variable fee based on revenues depending upon the agreement. MSTC continues to guide about 10% revenue growth in the e-commerce segment, which we feel will eventually pick up once with the digitization of the economy. The keenly awaited scrappage policy for commercial vehicle will also help the company as they have a 50-50 joint venture with Mahindra & Mahindra. The company has already set up 2 plants and they plan to set up more once the scrappage policy is cleared. A rationale for investing in MSTC is to play the transformation journey from a trading company to an e-commerce play. Also, at the valuation at which it is currently available is quite lucrative. On a market cap of 1,100 crores, they have a 250 crore cash and cash equivalent with them. Based on our projection, MSTC is currently available at 8 times P multiple based on FY22 earnings, which leaves a lot of room for re-rating.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one. Thanks so much for joining and telling us about MSTC. Well, on that note, we'll slip into a short break, but here's something that you, our viewers, must take note of. CNBC TV 18 and the National Stock Exchange have come together to promote investor awareness through our special campaign, Informed Investor. Now, that empowers you to make the right decisions with your money. While shopping, we keep our personal needs in mind and make our own decisions. Similarly, while investing, we need to take our own decisions, keeping our needs as well as our risk-taking ability in mind. An informed investor is one who doesn't follow anyone blindly.